for stopping by the Massachusetts Beer Review channel of YouTube. I am Thomas Meadow 75, and this is your Massachusetts Beer Review. Had a request to pick up the Samuel Adams, I believe it's called the Winter Variety Pack, and try a beer and do a review on it. I believe I don't have the full name, sorry buddy. His name is Average Joe, and he doesn't do video reviews, but he joins the Albino Rhino Wednesday night Beer United at about 8 p.m. with those guys in Canada, Albino Rhino and Lee Russell, and massive beer reviews in the Pennsylvania area. Matt does join that as well, but he said pick up the variety pack, see what you think. And this one is the Samuel Adams Winter Lager. I believe on Beer Advocate, not that I have it open on the screen over here, I believe they consider this a box-style beer. They say brewed with orange peel, cinnamon, and ginger. Neck of the bottle states, German brewers may have been onto something centuries ago when they created rich Bock beers for the winter. Our brew is a dark wheat Bock, subtly spiced with fresh ground cinnamon, ginger, and orange peel for a deep, smooth flavor that's perfect on a cold winter's night. Cheers, Jim Kutch. Jim Kutch. And this one is best before May of 2016, so we are obviously within the freshness date for the Samuel Adams brew. They use Spalt, Spalter, and Hallertau Mittelfew Noble hops. Samuel Adams 2-row pale malt blend, Caramel 60, malted wheat, Weyermann Carafa malt, and Munich 10 malt. They have their bottom fermenting lager yeast strain in this one. It's 193 calories per the bottle, 12 ounces, and it's 22 IBUs. It is available November through December, seasonally, obviously. It's winter ale at 5.6% alcohol by volume. I've had it before. Put it into our Samuel Adams traditional Boston lager glass. Now, they say it's a dark wheat Bock. So, I guess, not looking at Beer Advocate, but guessing that could be considered a Weizenbachen style dark wheat ale. Samuel Adams Winter Lager cap. Some of their varieties, they have a special cap that's cool for saving. I have already saved a cap from their Winter Lager collection, or Winter Lager bottle. See if I can get this whole thing in, and I can. Rich and bold with a touch of spice, they say on the website. Now, look at that. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It is pouring up from the glass, and it is all kinds of rich amounts of carbonation. Look at that, guys. It looks great. It's got that dark copper, dark ruby copper. It's copper towards the bottom of the glass. It's more ruby towards the center and the bulb of the glass here. And the head looks nice and pillowy and creamy. Let's get a nose on the Samuel Adams Winter Lager. Cheers. Nose is of toasted malt right away. Toasted malts, caramel malts, brown bread crust, light amounts of brown sugar, and some light notes of molasses, but I think the brown sugar is the predominant purveyor of the sweetness in the smell. And I would be smelling dark fruits. I'm not really getting a whole bunch of the orange peel in this one. But I can understand where it comes from. I don't perceive it as orange peel. I'm perceiving the smell being of a dark fruited quality. Yeah, it just smells like a really nice and refreshing and easygoing wheated Bock style beer. I'm going with Weizenbach. So it smells like a nice dark lager. Cheers. Cheers, Average Joe. The Winter Lager from Samuel Adams. Cheers again. There's definitely orange peel that's detectable in the taste that is not in the nose. To me, at least. It's got a... Yeah, maybe it does in the nose as well now that I think about it. But what I was going to say here was the taste is got those toasted malt flavors, and I can kind of get a... I don't know what kind, but I can kind of get a nutty taste. And actually there might be a little bit of a nutty aroma too. There's definitely some kind of baking type spices to that. I know we all like to throw out when we drink these wheat beers, or I guess a lot paler of a wheat beer, say like a Belgian wit. We all like to say, well, it's got that coriander smell and taste. Well, it probably does have a coriander smell and taste, but I've never knowingly just... I don't really know precisely the exact taste of coriander. But I got to assume that some of these wheat beers have that coriander taste, so I guess it does have a coriander taste and sort of a clove, light cloves in the taste. Definitely the brown sugar is there with molasses. That kicks in a little bit harder in the taste than in the smell, but it's not anything that's being overdone in the sweetness department. It says nice malt flavors. It's not really complex beer, and I don't think it's really meant to be a complex beer, but it definitely is got a nice toasted malt feel and brown bready feel to it. If I personally dig deep enough, I'll find the cinnamon. If I wasn't reading the bottle or the website where they say they use orange peel, ginger, and cinnamon, I wouldn't be getting the cinnamon so much. It's fairly dry in the mouthfeel. It's got a little bit of a sour when it dries. Or maybe it's kind of tart when it dries. And that's sort of a little bit where the orange is coming in, to me. The mouthfeel is on the light... Just look at that. The mouthfeel is on the light side of medium. But I actually, now that I'm drinking it, may be more inclined to call it a medium feel. They say it's bold and rich, and it's definitely got a lot of upfront flavors, and it is a pretty rich, full tasting beer. It's a medium-bodied beer, but it's full tasting, if you know what I'm saying about that. No charge, it's highly carbonated, as one can expect. And look at the lacing, guys. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, it's nothing too complex. I think to accompany the season of winter, I would want something a little bit darker and a little bit more in the alcohol percentage range. Designated driver with those big beers. But there's nothing wrong with this beer. It's highly drinkable, is what I was trying to say. It's smooth and it is a refreshing brew. I think if you're just a lager beer drinker or you like the occasional pumpkin beer or that occasional seasonal brew with those kind of flavors, with those flavored style of brews, should I say, then you would probably like the Samuel Adams Winter Lager for sure. Let me give it another taste and give you my final thoughts and grades. That toasty maltiness is almost like a brown ale to me, but it has that lagering that yeasted lager kind of a finish about it, that clean and crisp type of a finish to it. I cannot find a fault with the beer in terms of its flavor and its in its style of either a Bock beer or a Weizenbock, but I think I could be okay with giving that a B average rating. 83 to 85 is perfectly fine. It's not something that I want all the time. It's cool to have that variety pack and try the different beers. Now, the variety pack came with, I believe the beers there were 6 of them, 2 each to create the 12. Winter Lager, everybody knows the Boston Lager that has to be in their packs. A sparkling ale, kind of weird for a winter style variety pack. Holiday Porter, Old Fezziwig, and the Chocolate Bock, which I wasn't a giant fan of. So, if you still see the winter variety pack from Samuel Adams on sale at your local beer store, I think it wouldn't be more than $12 or $13. I think it's a good value for a good solid product. Not everything that Samuel Adams makes is supposed to be mind altering or earth shattering in terms of their flavors, but this one's good. We'll give it a B. But next time, keep tasting those great beers. Cheers.